Hello everyone. Are you ready to embark on an exciting journey that combines the world of gaming with the principles of ADDIE? So, can you imagine a world where learning and fun collide to create an immersive and engaging educational experience? So, in this world, as we know, students are not just passive learners, but an active participants in their own education, eagerly absorbing new knowledge and skills through the power of game-based learning. That's why now let's explore the possibilities of the game and the ADDIE framework together. My name is Natasha Andriana Cristiolas, and I will explain to you how my module can be utilized under the principles of ADDIE. So, here's my table of contents in which it will have the first part that explain about the design process, and then the part 2 will explain about how the module will be used in the classroom. Let's explore to the design process. First of all, you need to know what is ADDIE. So ADDIE is a process for trainers and designers with 5 phases, which stands for analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation to create an effective training tools. What is the meaning of each step? So in the analysis part, we identify the training objectives and requirements, defining the target audience, and evaluating the available results. Before you start developing any content or training strategies, you should analyze the current situation in terms of training, knowledge gaps, start with a series of questions to understand the current situation and to also understand what is the goal of the training itself. That's why this also influences a huge amount of decision later in the process. One very common question is, what is the point of the training? Why are we doing it? What type of behavioral change is desired? Will the training actually help? That's why this page should be a full audit of the audience, the goal of the training, methodology used, media type that used, and etc. That's why once this page is done, you can generate a training plan that addresses to who, what, when, where, why, and how. Next, in the design phase, we will creating some specific measurable learning objectives that align with the needs identified in the analysis phase. And this is where you take all of the learning of the previous phase and use it to make a practical decision. Additionally, this includes a strategy, delivery method, structure, duration, and assessment, and also a feedback. That's why in the next step, when you make some storyboard from the idea for the learning or the training, we will also create some blueprint for our course, and we will make some session or some step where we communicate with other stakeholders for the value of our learning or the training. And next part is development, when we selecting some appropriate training methods, creating materials, and ensuring that the learners are engaging and it can run effective. At the development phase, the instructional designers get to work and creating the assets and the material described in the previous design phase. And the created content includes the overall learning framework, exercise, the lectures or something that needs to be taught, the simulation and other training materials. It's read from my fault in 2011. Moreover, the system does perform various procedures that identify errors in the instructional strategy, plan, and improve the process as needed. In other words, we should also identify some errors or maybe something that we need to revise so that it will be run better for the next phase. That's why in the implementation part, we will deliver the training using the developed material and methods, and we will also require some adjustment based on the audience feedback. That's why while learners consume the materials developed in the previous phase, the instructor must ensure that the learners understand the material and achieve the learning objectives. And what is the most important is the instructor must observe and document the students' or the learners' performance as well as their attitudes and behavior towards the learning process. That's why this also includes of self as a valuable input for the process of the next phase, which is the evaluation. In the evaluation phase, we will measure the effectiveness of the training and identify some area for the improvement in the future training. That's why in this evaluation phase, we can include some two types of evaluation, which is the formative evaluation and also the summative evaluation. For the formative evaluation, the product and the process are evaluated at each stage of the ADDIE process to ensure the quality and the continued progress. While for the summative evaluation, it will focus on the outcome of the learning program as a whole and includes an assessment of the program's overall effectiveness. So that's all, some explanation about ADDIE. Now let's move to the analysis part of my module. In this part, there's a question. Why is this module needed? So as you can see, this module is needed because it provides an engaging learning experience through the use of game and it like becoming some part of increasingly prevalent as technology is being utilized more frequently as tool for learning. That's why I believe by implementing this advanced learning environment, both students and teachers can benefit from a more interactive and dynamic learning experience. And also the use of some like game elements in the learning process can help to increase some student motivation, participation, and retention of information. And it offers a personalized and self-directed approach to learning, and it can allow students to progress at their own pace and receive immediate feedback on their performance. That's why overall, I believe like some of this module offers a promising approach to the education that can enhance the effectiveness of the learning process, as we believe that in this current era, we more likely to use technology as a part of learning, and when we utilize some game, it makes maybe some students can be participate more, and then they can also explore what is the new learning environment, and and also the teacher can benefit from this type of learning environment. And the targeted students are elementary school students in grades 5 and 6, and this module aims to foster their curiosity and encourage their personal growth. So that's the analysis part. Now we move to the design part. So how is the module designed? So as you can see here, I divide my module into 3 sessions where it has the introduction part, explanation part, and test part. So the introduction part serves as a warm-up activity that engages the students and introduces them to the topic by asking for their names. It will provide them with a practical example of how to ask for someone's name in English. And this also helps to create a comfortable and friendly environment for the students to participate in the module. Next, in the explanation part, the Grizzly bird of the object here, the character, will provide the students with a brief explanation on how to read and tell the time in English. So actually, in the introduction part, there will be some question that ask the audience or the students if they are already familiar with how to tell the time. So they will have some option. They won't get an explanation. While if they don't understand what the time concept, then the Grizzly bear will provide them with some brief explanation like I show here. That's why this section may include information on the different parts of the clock, such as the hour hand and the minute hand, and how to use them to tell the time. And that's why the explanation that I made here is designed to be clear and concise to help the students understand the concept easily. And in the next part, in the test part, is where the students can apply their newly acquired knowledge by answering questions related to the topic. And I believe that this is an important step to evaluate the effectiveness of the module and identify any areas that need further improvement. And the question may include asking the students to tell the time based on the clock that it shows or the clock face. Overall, this module is designed with some combination of theory, which is the time theory, and then the practice. And I believe that this can help students build their confidence and proficiency in English language skills. So that's the design part. Next, we will move to the development part. So in the development part, we will see some comments or maybe suggestions from the expert. First, from the subject matter expert, it says that I feel that the overall concept of learning this subject is easy, yet will be challenging for young learners. It is also beneficial to provide 3 identical answer options, which will encourage learners to put their knowledge to use. And the next is from the media expert. The instruction is easy to follow, and what to do during the scratch activity is understandable without any confusion. The theme that you choose is also eye-catching, and I think it will engage the student to follow the activity. And next part is the potential client or the potential teacher. I think you have created a sufficient and good instructional design. The instruction is clear and the game can be played smoothly without experiencing bugs and errors. No additional suggestion. That's all the comments or maybe suggestion from the expert as I can use for my development part of my module. Why in the next slide you will see some comments that I agree or maybe comments that already addressed by my module. First, we will see the comments, which is I feel that the overall concept of learning this subject is easy, yet challenging for young learners. And the targeted area for this comment is, I think, the difficulty level. So my response is, I agree that as we know, time is a common thing that we tell every day. And yeah, however, it might be difficult for students in elementary level to interpret some meaning based on the clock error. Next one is the instructions for the scratch activity are clear and easy to follow, which enables the game to be played smoothly without experiencing any bugs or errors. Additionally, the steps outlined in the instruction are understandable, leaving no room for confusion during the activity. This is for the clarity part. And the response is it is already addressed. And I believe that this module is already provide some clear instruction with some translation to Indonesian to make it easier for EFL or English for like English as a foreign language students to understand the meaning. And the next part is the comments of I think your choice of character, backdrop images, and background music was excellent. And the targeted area is interactivity, which is already addressed. And there's also some part where there will be some the use of cartoon character that is used to make the students engage with the model along with the other visual and uh, auditory elements. The next part we will see some the logic graph. So you can see here the expert were using Lottie to review the module, and as we can see here from range 1 to 5 the average value is around 4, 4.5 and 5, which just shows positive results, and it starts from the content quality, which is 5, and then next for the learning goal alignment include some the activities, assessment, and learner characteristic. It is in the 5 value, And for the feedback and adaptation, it is also 5. And motivation, it is in around 4.5. And then the presentation design, it is 5. And the interaction usability is also around 4.5. And then the accessibility, it is also around 4.5. And the last part is about the standards compliance, which is 5. So these are the result of the expert review to the lorry. The next part is the implementation. So for the implementation part is the question, how is the module used? And in this part, I have invited some of my relatives to participate in for playing my module. And yeah, they are the elementary school students, as I mentioned, start from 5 until 6 grade students. And I also have asked their consent if they are willing to play it, and they are agreed. And since I'm able to conduct it offline in my hometown, so I provide them with my laptop as a tool for them to play the module or the game. Here's the process for the implementation part. So the students are play the module individually with some guidance from me. And yeah, since it is offline, of course, I also can be able to monitor them in case if there is something that they confused to do. And yeah, while playing the module, they usually are some English words that they still unfamiliar with, or that they don't know the meaning. So yeah, I think it will be benefit for me and also for them, because yeah, we can learn the English words together when playing the module. So yeah, here are some documentation of the video when they play the module. Now let's move to the evaluation part. So how is LOES used as a part of evaluation? Oh yeah, first of all, I use the LOES, which is the Learning Object Evaluation Scale, for my evaluation. So first of all, these are some explanation that the learning objects are web-based tools that help learners understand specific concepts by improving their cognitive process through interaction. However, there is still lack of research on the effectiveness and value of these learning objects, mainly due to the scarcity of the reliable and valid evaluation tools that are based on theory and comprehensive. The validity and reliability of the LOES have been assessed in several studies, which have consistently reported positive outcomes when using the scale as a tool for evaluating an organization's ability to learn. You can see the reliability result in the validity. And according to the research, the LOES was found to have acceptable internal consistency reliability estimate based on the combat alpha with moderate to high value of 0.89 for learning and 0.84 for quality and 0.78 for engagement. And this value aligned with social science measurement standards established by Nunnally and Klein. And the next part is about the validity. As you can see here, out of the 25 studies analyzed in the paper of the Kai and Knack, only 2 provided validity estimates for the learning object evaluation tools used. And therefore, it is important to address the validity and future evaluation of these learning objects. And the paper from Kai and Knack identified four types of validity that must be considered in evaluation, which are the phase validity construct, validity convergent validity, and predictive validity. And yeah, these are some reference that I use. That's why the details of the validity can be checked through the reference below. This is some result from the audience using the LOES. First, it is about the learning aspect. And in the learning aspect, there's a positive result in which the audience are classified. The module can help them in terms of learning time. However, yeah, something needs to be improved. And which is adding more feedback to the module. Because I also agree that in some part, the module, the feedback is not in a various form, which is only one feedback. That's why I also need to add more so that they can also easily to learn, and yeah, it can be more interactive for them. That's why for the first part, as you can see, they likely to agree that learning through this module help them to understand how to read time. Yet again, I need to provide the various feedbacks when they answer it, some tests incorrect. Because yeah, as you can see, the result of the about the feedback is still around 3, while most of them are around 4 to 5. That's why I believe it also will provide learners with valuable information on their progress, highlighting areas where they are excelling and areas where they need to improve. That's why from the feedback, the learners can adjust their strategy and approaches, leading to better learning outcome. On the other hand, some graphic and animation also already help them to learn the time concept. And also, yeah, overall, they say that this model helped them to learn. Next, we move to the quality aspect. In terms of quality, audience respond that the instruction and the game usability are run well. That's why the value is around 4 to 5, which just shows a positive result. And that's why from this data, overall the audience are agree for the quality aspect that help them to follow the game, start from the instruction and how it is structured. Yeah, for the question number 6, which is the use of the game or yeah, benefit for them, and the instruction also clear and the game is easy to use, and it is structured well. Moving on the engagement aspect, and yes, this module called provide an interactive session where the audience can enjoy the theme, visuals, and others. Overall, an interactive session can enhance the learning experience by providing an engaging and enjoyable way to explore the content of the module. That's why by integrating the interactive element into the module, learners can be more motivated to learn and also retain information more effectively and ultimately achieve a better learning outcomes. Again, the data it shows some a positive result, which is more likely to agree since it is start from range 4 to range 5. Is that they like overall the team and the game is motivated them to learn about the time concept, and they also wanted to play the game again. Next, yeah, what did the audience say? There's also some several comments from the audience, which is in terms of like and dislike. And from the result, it shows that the audience like the module because it teaches them to be more familiar with the way to tell a time, especially in English. And on the other side, they like the material because it is common to them, meaning that it might be easy for them to know the time concept because, yeah, they usually saw it every day. And in terms of dislike, there are several comments regards to the usability and the quality. And yeah, since this module is also using English as the medium for instruction, therefore I believe it will also be a challenge for the EFL's learner to understand some part of the module. Yeah, because yeah, I believe they also still need to get some exposure to any vocabulary that related to English. That's why I think I should there should be some words that needs to be changed or translated so that it is adaptable for the EFL learners. And in the quality part, some audience says that there should be more cartoon animation included in the model and the audio should be lowered a bit. Yes, I also agree with this comment when they said should add more cartoon animation in which perhaps I want to make the object or the beard can move a bit. Yeah. So it feels like alive or it builds more interaction with the audience. And yet in some part of the module, the audio might be a lot a bit perhaps they got shocked in the end of the module because from the lower audio it directly went to the full audio. So yeah, I should like I change it, and it also cannot and it also can make the audience not to feel distracted. How the module will be used. How can I use this module in a classroom context? So here's some lesson plan that I made relate to the module that I create. So as you can see here, the learning objective is by the end of this lesson, students are able to interpret or read and tell the time using English. And the assessment here, first the student practice telling a time through the Scratch module that I create. And the second part is the student answer the question in the worksheet. I divide here into three sessions, which start from the pre-activity, main activity, and post-activity. In the pre-activity, the teacher will ask students at what time they did their activity, such as waking up, going to school, having lunch, and going to bed. And at this case, they will answer like, oh, at the morning, they wake up, at in the afternoon, they uh, like take a nap and other. So it will guide them to related to time. And the next uh, the next will be the teacher will ask students what will happen if they don't know how to read the time. So they will answer, oh, it will be happen like this, it will happen like this, blah blah blah, and yeah, the teacher will respond. That's why the teacher will discuss with the students the importance of knowing the time and how it can help them to do their activities, start from their wake up, going to school, having lunch, and going to bed. And that's why it will guide them to the main activity, which the first part is the teacher will tell students that they will play some game about time. Yeah, that's why teacher will give the link to the module, which is the Scratch module that I create. And yeah, teacher will make sure that the students are ready with their devices and also tools then they can use to access the module. And then teacher will instruct the students on how to play the game or how to play the module. And yet they will be like some several minutes to be wait for the teacher so the students can play the game. And after students play the game, the teacher will also explain how to read a time in English. So this model is didn't stand alone like that. So it will also have some explanation from the teacher so that the students can be more understand about the time concept. And that's why teacher will also ask students several questions regarding the time concept to ensure that they already understand what the module explain and also what the teacher explained. So yeah, as you can see here, the main activity will be also focused on the module in which they will also play the test. And yeah, for the test part, it will be fine if they cannot answer it smoothly because again, it will test their knowledge first and then this teacher will explain the time and also the other thing that related to time in English. And that's why in the post activity, teacher will provide a worksheet where students will fill in the meaning of the time shown in the picture. And then the next part is the teacher will ask some students to reflect on what they have learned during the activity. And after that, teacher will give some feedback and review to the students. Here the example of the worksheet. So for the first activity, teacher can use the following worksheet to assess students' understanding of how to read and tell the time. So in the empty box, the students can write what is how to read the time in English, and yeah, they will write it in the empty box. In conclusion, as you can see here, I believe that this module or this product may enhance the learning experience of elementary school students, which is yeah from grades 5 to and 6, and it can lead to some increased engagement, information retention, and also academic performance, especially in English. The product can stimulate students' curiosity in learning English and also foster their personal growth beyond academic pursuits. And moreover, it will also has the potential to improve students' English language skill, particularly in terms of fluency, yeah, over time. That's why I believe that for this module, by utilizing some game modeling techniques and an advanced learning environment to help the students improve their English skills. And as I mentioned before, the product can introduce to a new learning context for teachers, demonstrating how games can be used as an effective tools for enhancing learning and increasing students' engagement. Last but not least, the product can encourage teachers to explore new and innovative methods for delivering instruction, and it can lead to a more dynamic and interactive learning environment. So overall, it will be beneficial for both students and teacher in terms of building the learning environment to be more advanced in the future. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed hearing my explanation and also watching the video. Bye bye.